she's not up for it. That's the thing.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
This is Online Learning in a Hurry, guest episode 8 with my good buddy Maha Bali. Maha, thank you so much for coming. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. It's good to see you, Dave.
It's fantastic
Thanks
to
for
see you.
having
It's been
me.
a long time since we chatted. A lot of background
Yes,
chatties, but not a lot of face-to-face, which is nice.
yes, exactly.
Why don't you give people a sense of who you are and what you do, and then give us your wisdom for today.
Great. So I'm Maha. I'm an associate professor of practice at the American University in Cairo in Egypt. So my main role is at the Center for Learning and Teaching. I'm a faculty developer. I support other people in their teaching. Part of that relates to integrating technology, blended online learning, that kind of thing. And part of it is just, pedagogical consultation, things like that. I have my daughter here with me. She's 8. Um, and I am also the co-director of Virtually Connecting, which I know Autumn was on here talking briefly about. And so what I want to focus on today is the importance of those semi-formal, semi-synchronous spaces in these days, especially in the time of COVID-19, because I think what is missing a lot for students and for faculty, for all of us really, is with this physical distancing. We're missing those social spaces where it's not your home and it's not your formal learning space, but a space to socialize. You now don't have a space to socialize outside the online. And so you really need to make room for those in the online. And what I'm doing here with my students is I'm using Slack, and we have a general channel for stuff related to the course, and then we have a random channel for everything else. And I encourage them to go there. So they'll go there and they'll talk about problems they're having. They'll talk about jokes. We'll put GIFs. And one of the things sometimes that happens is some faculty have agreed to join like students' WhatsApp groups or whatever.
Yeah.
But then people create these WhatsApp groups. This is a content only space. This is a professional space. Nobody posts GIFs. Nobody do whatever. And that, I understand the need for that, but that's what email is for. And that's what the course learning management system is for. But you need those other spaces to sort of, let go, let out. And so I found that this is really useful. And the other thing is sometimes your class needs to be that space every now and then too. So the day that my university announced that they're going to get a exam proctoring thing, I had a class the next day. And from the messages students were sending, I was like, I knew that I couldn't hold a normal class the next day and just carry on as normal. Like you can't go as usual if people have that thing stressing them all the time.
Yeah.
And so my course is about digital literacies anyway. And we talk about empathy and equity and things like that in relation to that. So that was actually also a good segue, but I let them talk about how they're feeling about it, their fears, their concerns, and so on. And then I changed the article we were going to read that day, and we ended up reading an article about online proctoring.
Right. So how do you...
But modifying, go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but how do you balance that professional personal divide? Because I know I've had this conversation with faculty and they're like, well, I need to remain. My first classroom I ever taught in a K-12 system, somebody came in and said, you allow those students to call you Dave. They're never going to respect you now. You need to keep that professional distance. So how do you manage that whole process of doing the difference between professional distance and still being caring about those students?
So first of all, you have to recognize not everyone's going to be as comfortable with this as each other. You and I are that kind of person. So I'm extroverted and I'm comfortable being vulnerable with my students. One of the most important things Bell Hooks says, if you're going to ask your students to be open with you and vulnerable, you have to make yourself vulnerable. So you have to be willing to do that. I think people will be willing to do it to different extents, but I also think this time is where our humanity really needs to come out. Even though we've been with our students face to face, so they know us, they had the opportunity to talk to you outside of class. They had the opportunity to come to your office. They had the opportunity to see you walking down campus, and they don't have that anymore.
Just to see you smiling in the front of class.
Yeah, and they need that a little bit more. And if you don't design it in an online space, it's not going to happen. I mean, students are telling me they're having trouble doing group work, even though they were able to do it before. And it's not the scheduling because everyone's home, right? And they manage. It's just that they're meeting just to do the work. And I'm like, get a pizza, everybody get a pizza, sit together, eat the pizza together, socialize, and then do the work. That's what makes group work okay for students. It's not the actual work that we give them. University, I mean, what is a university? It's not about getting a degree. It's about all this social capital stuff going on. And if you don't factor it in, it's not going to happen on its own. Students might manage it or not. Yeah. And then you as the teacher, need to do that with the students, I think, as well. It doesn't matter. It's okay if some people don't do it, but I think if you have the capacity, because again, like we all have families. I have my child right here.
Yeah.
And if that becomes part of the problem, but for example, I was helping a faculty member troubleshoot something the other day, and she came in and she helped us test it. So she used her phone to provide another device. I mean, these things, you know, it's a different situation. Everybody's got their children with them at work, right?
Yeah.
So,
and those are real things, and we don't need to keep them separate. Because I've got Bonnie standing here in the doorway, sort of waiting to say hi. It's the same thing, right? We've all got that feeling. Well, I'm going to cut that off right there because that's a perfect message, and nice and complete. Thank you very much, Maha. Bali, I now understand because I've been pronouncing your name wrong the whole time. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I will talk to you next week.
Are you laughing?